What's up, y'all? So, NBA playoffs is starting up. The season's wrapping up and everything. So, we gotta let y'all niggas know what we think's gonna happen. So, let's get the assumptions out the way first, because it's real muddy, especially in the West. You know what I mean? Like, we got 3, maybe 4 teams that we don't even know where their spots are gonna be in the play-in, let alone the playoffs. So let's start off by saying we think the Mavericks are gonna get in over the Thunder. That's just
only simply because the Thunder have to play. Who did they play recently? I mean,
Memphis.
Yeah, they play the Grizzlies soon, and I don't. Even though that game is a home game for the Thunder, I still don't see Memphis beat. I mean, I don't see the Thunder beating them unless like John Morant or somebody doesn't play and they like rest their starters.
Yeah, which I mean they could do, but Memphis also needs to fight for the to keep the 2nd seed over the Kings. So right there, we don't really know what's gonna happen, but either way, we got the Mavericks into the play-in right now, and
at the 10th seed.
Yeah, at the 10th seed, and let's just talk about the play-in picture first. So I got the Mavericks versus Minnesota. I got Mavericks coming out of that. It's really close because the Mavericks have been playing like ass.
Yeah, like some shit. And then like Karl Anthony Towns coming back also just helps out the Timberwolves situation.
Yeah. And then we got Lakers versus Pelicans. I'm going to say Lakers.
Simply because the Lakers have a home court advantage.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And also Brian, you know what I'm saying? Well, he got to be the X factor. He just, for one game, come on now. He going to turn up.
Exactly.
We know what Brian do.
He does. Like, that one year when they were going up against the Warriors. Like, the Warriors were pretty bad that year, but Steph Curry had, like, an MVP level season. And then, like, Bron sent them niggas home with a game winner. So, like, when it comes to those high-ass moments, we got to get Bron in there.
Yeah. He the GOAT for a reason. Scoring title for a reason. All that shit.
Yeah. I don't trust AD, though. Not at all.
Nah. Because AD can turn up, but it's like, will he? And that will he, we ain't got time for that.
Yeah, for real.
But still, with all that being said, Lakers are going to come out of that play-in matchup against the Pelicans.
So that puts Lakers at the 7th seed, which means the 8th seed matchup is going to be between Mavericks and the Pelicans. And that is a fire-ass matchup.
It's so even.
It is. Like, it's not like there's somebody for each person. Well, there is, because, you got Valanciunas and Maxi Kleber. You got... Well, it's not really the matchup, but you got Brandon Ingram with Luka, and I would say McCollum and Kyrie. They're not exactly like the same caliber of player, but with what we've seen from CJ McCollum, he can give you as many points as Kyrie does. And with either one of them, you're not really thinking too much about defense.
In the past, too, like throughout the course of the season, we've seen like the Mavs and Pelicans be a really close matchup. But what we've also seen is the Pelicans pull out of games, like most recently on March 8th when the Pelicans played the Mavericks. And I believe it was a Mavericks home game. I'm not completely sure. But either way, the Pelicans end up winning that game, and Luka played like shit. He only had 15 points, and Brandon Ingram, Kyrie played good. Brandon Ingram played like shit too. So and a bunch of the starters for the Pelicans played like shit, but the Pelicans still could pull that game out in Dallas. So for that reason, the slight edge. And I mean slight.
Super slight.
Yeah. Slight edge goes to the Pelicans for that AC spot.
And then on the east side of the play-in, we got Miami versus Atlanta, which I say I'm putting Atlanta into that position solely because I just want to see them there.
Hey, bro. You can see the shirt. I'm a Hawks fan. Right. I'm a Hawks fan. But I'm also a realist. And between the Hawks and Heat, every single time I see that matchup, the Hawks get fucked up. Every single time. And I just had to give that matchup to the Heat. So I personally had the Heat going into that 7th seed spot in the East instead of the Hawks.
So then that takes us to the 9th and 10th seed matchup, and that's Toronto versus Chicago. I got Toronto. Chicago's been playing like hot ass.
Yeah, like the other night they lost to Atlanta by 20.
Yeah, like,
that's crazy because Atlanta's a mid-ass team. And
literally.
The skill that they have on Chicago, they shouldn't be losing these games the way they're losing. Like, bro, you have Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, bro. Come on now.
I mean, DeMar DeRozan's been playing pretty bad recently. I don't know what's been going on, but they've been relying more heavily on Zach LaVine, and I don't believe in it. Sorry, Chicago, not this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that shit to the Raptors too.
Yeah. So then Raptors, I got Raptors versus Miami.
I got Raptors versus Atlanta.
Yeah, and either way, they lose.
Yeah. We both still have the Hawks and Heat coming out of the play-in tournament.
Exactly. So, all right, that leads us into the first round matchups. Let's start out in the East, where it's a little more stable, because the West get wild.
Wild West.
Wow. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with Milwaukee versus Miami, even though he got Milwaukee versus Atlanta. I got Milwaukee in 6 because Miami, they're some dogs, bro. You never sweeping them, real talk. Well, I'm not gonna say never because I think they got swept by the Nets one year, or they swept the Nets. Not too sure, but yeah, no, they're some dogs. Like, especially with Jimmy Butler, like
playoff Jimbo.
That nigga takes it to the next level every fucking time. Like, he's that person that you want on your team when it comes playoff time, because he's gonna be the like Giannis level. Well, okay, maybe not Giannis, because Giannis is like the best player in the league, but I'd say Jason Tatum level. Like, he's the best player on the team. Half of the time, he's the best player on the court. So I gotta give him at least 2 games out of that.
Yeah, I agree with you for your own matchup, because like the Heat just kind of have Milwaukee's number. They have had it for a while. So I don't think the Bucks can just sweep the Heat, but the Bucks will come out of that.
Yeah.
But for me, I have the Bucks and Hawks. And for that, bro, it hurts me to say this, but I got Bucks and 4.
Yeah.
That's the broomstick.
Yeah, if the Hawks go up against Milwaukee, that's a sweep, bro.
Yeah, bro, because who is guarding Giannis? Clint Capella?
Come on now. Nah, John Collins?
Man, weak body ass nigga.
For real.
Get the fuck out of my face.
That's not it. So then after that, we gonna do the 4 seed and 3 seed. 4 seed and 5 seed, sorry. Cleveland and New York. This is a good ass matchup.
That is a series.
At first, I didn't believe in the Knicks like whatsoever coming into the season,
mainly because we're Hawks fans.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck the Knicks.
And I'm not gonna say fuck New York, but Atlanta.
Trae Young own y'all.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, if it was, y'all lucky Atlanta not going up against y'all.
Oh, for sure, because we kicking you out in the first round, just like we did a few years ago.
But since y'all already made it to the 5 seed, I'm gonna go 7. Cleveland in 7, but it is close because once there's a game 7, any team can make it. Like, if Jimmy Butler would have hit that shot last year, then they would have been in the finals. So it gets close.
Yeah, and like, see, my edge that I give to the Cavs over the Knicks is the fact that Donovan Mitchell, bro, that nigga has been the fucking truth this year.
No cap.
Like, bro, I think I seen a stat where he scored 30 points in like each of like 30 games or something like that this season, and 40 points in like maybe 10 games this past season. Like, bro, come on now. There's nobody on the Knicks who's Donovan Mitchell's level.
Yeah.
You got people who's like Darius Garland level on the Knicks. Like, you got Jalen Brunson and you got Julius Randle and everything. But Julius Randle, low-key choke artist. Yeah. And Jalen Brunson ain't going to be enough to carry that team. So then you got like Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley and stuff like that. And I just ain't seen enough for them to say that they can, go beat the Cavs. So
yeah, especially because like in the playoffs, Donovan Mitchell also takes that next step. And when he was on the Jazz, he went from being like, relatively all-star level during the regular season, but then once it gets to the playoffs, he is a superstar.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm getting Cleveland in 7 for that one.
For sure.
Next, Philly versus Brooklyn. This one's interesting, but the outcome is like kind of guaranteed. It's Philly, but I'm not too sure how many games Brooklyn can edge out with the new team.
You don't know, only because the newly acquired players are just filling out these roles. So you don't know how fast they're going to tune to these roles. They might come out, right? And like, you got Michael Bridges, who is now the top scorer on his team for the first time in his career. He might come out here and ball out. He has playoff experience in Phoenix. Or he might sell because he's never been in this role. Yeah. So you don't know whether they're going to take 5 games. I mean, like, it's going to take 5 games for that series to be over, or if it's going to take 7 games for that series to be over.
Yeah. And on the Philly side, we know Joel Embiid, probably MVP this year. He's one of the best players in the league. But when it comes to James Harden and Tobias Harris, they're good. Like, they're really solid players, but I don't expect them to just, like, fuck the Brooklyn Nets up, especially with Bridges guarding Harden, Yeah,
Bridges is a great defender. I think Bridges, can hold Harden.
Yeah, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. So, yeah, that one's going to be interesting. I said 6.
But at the same time, I still say 76ers in 5, just because who in the hell is going to guard Joel Embiid off the Nets?
Ooh, yeah.
Nick Claxton, bro? Come on, man.
Yeah, nah.
Get the fuck out of my way, bro. Weak body ass nigga, and you can't come out here on the perimeter. That's a wrap.
I'm pretty sure they ruled Ben Simmons out for the playoffs. I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, just for entertainment purposes.
True.
Yeah, because like seeing him and Joel would be hilarious. Well, he would be there, probably. Like he'd probably be there, show up to the games, show his fit or whatever. But yeah, nah, we got Philly for that.
Yeah.
Then I have Boston versus Atlanta for this for the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. Boston in 5, realistically.
If it is Boston and Atlanta, yeah, Boston in 5. But I have Boston and Miami, and for that, Boston in 6. Like we said, them Heat, they're some dogs.
Yeah, the Celtics are looking damn near perfect this season. And even with that, Miami is not a team that you can just put down easily.
Mm-hmm.
And with Miami playing, they don't play as good as they could every year. Like, there's always something that you can like point to and say if they would have improved on this, then they would have been able to make it to at least the finals or win the championship. But I don't know. It just seems like the Celtics, they're not like ahead of the Miami Heat enough, like matchup for matchup.
Mm-hmm. They're ahead, but it's not so significant that it's a sweep or some shit.
Yeah. So now let's head over to the West.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Denver versus New Orleans, 1 versus 8. That one, I just got that at 5. That one's pretty easy.
For me, I have it at 6, just because, man, I can't count Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum out like that. And also, Jamal Murray isn't the Jamal Murray that, like, we got in the past, like, pre-injury Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm.
He still hasn't, especially not bubble Jamal Murray. That shit was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But he still hasn't gotten back to that level. So I can't really count on him as much. I still do think the Nuggets are going to win that matchup, but I think it's going to take 6 games.
Yeah. I mean, they're the more complete team. They got a solid player at every single position and someone who is a back-to-back MVP. Could be the MVP this year, but realistically, not gonna be. Yeah, exactly. Like, he's playing at an MVP level, but can you give someone with no rings, no conference final? Did they go to conference finals?
Yeah, they did.
But like, they haven't even been to the championship before. Like, I can't give that type of player MVP again, even though it's a regular season award. I'm thinking legacy like type shit, and 3-time MVP. You can't be for that type of player. But next up, we got Phoenix versus the Clippers. Westbrook versus KD.
Hey, man.
This one's gonna be entertainment for sure. I got Phoenix in 6, because we got KD versus Kawhi also. That's going to be a good matchup to look out for. Mm-hmm. But with the size that Phoenix has with Ayton, I don't think anybody on the Zubac's he can't go up with Ayton. Like I feel like Ayton is he's probably going to be the X factor for the team, especially since the new addition with Kevin Durant is kind of just meeting Kawhi, and there's not really anybody for Booker either.
Nah, that's what I was gonna say. There's not really you have if you choose to put Kawhi on KD and not on D Book, then who's guarding D Book? And whoever that is, that man getting fried.
Yeah. And this is all without even considering CP.
Yeah, you still have to consider CP3 along with the other 3 players we just mentioned. Exactly. So,
there's a lot of good offensive players on the Clippers. You got Westbrook. He can give you some buckets.
Yeah, he can give you a solid 16 a night.
Mm-hmm. And you got
8 assists.
Yeah, for sure. And then you got Bones Highland. He's a good scorer,
coming
all
off
around.
The bench.
Yeah, but the problem with that team is they're not. It's not going to be enough to take down a damn near a super team.
And yeah, for me, I have that same matchup, Suns in 5. Honestly, I don't see the Clippers really figuring out a scheme that hold Suns.
The Warriors versus the Kings. Shout out to the Kings. Y'all really did it. Y'all damn sure proved me wrong. I ain't believe in you at all.
Hell no.
Yeah. But
y'all took our nigga Red Velvet from us.
Yeah, for real, bruh. Why? I'm not gonna say why weren't you doing this in Atlanta, because you were. We knew your value, but the front office didn't. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so if you look at the stats, both these teams are amazing at home, terrible on the road. So
the Kings aren't terrible on the road, but the
Warriors
definitely are.
Yeah, but the Warriors, they're so good at their home court that I don't see the Kings taking any away games. So I'm gonna have to go Warriors personally, because I believe that the Warriors can win an away game before the Kings can win an away game.
And also, you're getting Andrew Wiggins back, which is a huge piece back.
It is.
But even with Andrew Wiggins, they weren't winning away games like that. And for me personally, I say Kings in 7 because I don't think anybody's winning away games.
Yeah, that's also highly likely. But either way, it's going to be a close series. But next up, we got Memphis versus the Lakers. Ja Morant, you got this one, Rusky. The Lakers, they flipped the switch this season to make it into the playoff picture, but they're also not a solid team. They're still pretty much frauds. Mm-hmm. So LeBron is gonna muscle you into a win. AD and Bron might connect together to get you another win, but I'm not seeing this going further than 6 games. And let's stay in the West for the second round. I have Golden State versus Memphis. You got Kings versus Memphis. Either way, I'm taking Memphis to go to the conference final.
Yeah, same here. Simply because we don't know what we're getting from the Kings in the playoffs, because they've never been to the damn playoffs, right? This team hasn't been to the playoffs. I think they got 2 players, you said, that's been to the playoffs on that whole squad.
Yeah, Sabonis and Herter.
Yeah, which don't get me wrong, Sabonis is a good piece to have been to the playoffs because he's one of their top scorers and everything like that. But I just don't see it yet. I have to see what they're gonna do in the playoffs first.
Yeah. For sure.
And for that reason, give me the Grizzlies. They've been to the playoffs. That man, Ja Morant, know what time it is.
Mm-hmm. And I got Golden State. No, I have in the matchup against Golden State, I still got Memphis coming out of, because it just seems like this year they're more ready than they were last year. Last year, it seemed like they were trying to prove everybody wrong. They got into the playoffs the year before through the play-in, and then last year they were just a legitimate playoff team that ended up losing to the Mavericks. But this year I feel like they're actual title contenders. I don't see them winning the title, but when it comes to them going up against Golden State, especially Golden State, I see them winning that one. Suns versus Nuggets. This is going to be interesting because we'll really get to see what Jokic is made out of. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to see how an important harder matchup for the Suns and KD to prove themselves.
But for this matchup, I still have the Suns coming out in 6 because once again, you have 3 offensive powerhouses that like any one of the 3 can score. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. That man CP3 still can't score. So stop the bullshit. He still can't score. What you call it? You got 3 niggas: CP3, D-Book, and KD. And I don't know. You know, you can guard 2 of them, but I don't think all 3 of them can get locked up.
And even if they are, you still got Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
But with on the Nugget side, I can see Jokic, you know, having a solid ass matchup, and he would probably, you know, go crazy, give you some crazy numbers and advanced analytic bullshit ass shit. But when it comes down to it, you have KD on the other side of the ball. Like, there's no way that KD is getting stopped by anybody. Really, period. But like, especially all that the Nuggets have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aaron Gordon, he might be able to like have some possessions where he stays with him, but I don't see him going an entire series having KD locked up.
And one thing that we're not even mentioning about the Suns, which I think is like a little bit overlooked because of their stars that they have on the, you know, at their starting 5, is their bench is solid as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have Terrence Ross and you have Cam Payne and
Campaign,
yeah. Like them 2 off the bench can give you, if given the opportunity, they can give you 15.
Mm-hmm. And Dario Saric
isn't with them no more.
Oh damn. Well, next we'll go into the East. Philly versus Boston. This is gonna be a great matchup as well, dude. That one, Boston's the more ready team. Like, I feel like they are just ready to get back to where they were.
They're hungry. I can see it.
Yeah, especially because like right now, Jaylen Brown is playing like the number 1 option, and Jason Tatum is still as good as he's ever been. Mm-hmm. So with that, I got Boston coming out in 7.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a close matchup because Joel Embiid doesn't go down without a fight. Mm-hmm. So I still think that 76ers are going to win a lot of games. It's just going to take 7 games for the Celtics to beat them.
Yeah, and this one's going to come down to coaching and Doc Rivers' ass.
Yeah, bro. He's not what he was in Boston.
Yeah.
Going against the whole squad, though.
Yeah. So then after that, we got Milwaukee versus Cleveland. This one it's not as good of a matchup as the other ones, but it's still kind of interesting. We got like a guard heavy team versus like a big heavy team, and in those cases I'm going with the bigs.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you're big. It's fucking Giannis.
Yeah. And Giannis is the smallest of their bigs. Yeah, because like you got Bobby Portis stretching the floor, you got Brook Lopez stretching the floor. So and then that's if Middleton and Drew Holiday, they're just playing like average. If they play how they can, how Drew Holiday just dropped 50 the other night, and we know, you know, Middleton's the closer, so he could hit any like big shot, even if he's having a bad game.
That man known for stabbing them. Bro.
Yeah, like he could have a bad game and then hit the like game-winning shot. So yeah, I'm coming out with Milwaukee in 6.
Same here.
Yeah. So then let's go into the conference final: Milwaukee versus Boston. This is probably a better matchup than the finals, to be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 2 best teams in the league, pretty much. Milwaukee they have the best player in the matchup, but the better team is probably Boston. I don't know. I just have a feeling that Milwaukee's coming out with this one in 7.
Man, see, I disagree. And not only do I disagree about the team who's winning, I disagree about the amount of games it's going to take.
Oh.
Because I don't know if y'all seen that Bucks-Celtics game recently, but them Celtics was hungry, bro. They was ready for the moment. Blew the fuck out of Milwaukee, bro. In Milwaukee, too.
Yeah.
Like on your home court, do you like that? So, if I get that type of team from the Celtics, I gotta go Celtics in 6. But who knows? Maybe Milwaukee might take offense to it and be like, "Hey, bro, you're not finna just get away with that and fuck them niggas up." But I don't see it. I see Celtics in 6.
And then back in the West, Phoenix versus Memphis. these two teams have completely different experiences. Phoenix is just built more for the finals.
There's a lot more veterans on your team. You got a deep ass bench. You know what I'm saying? The other team is like those guys are talented on Memphis, but they're I don't think they've ever even been to the conference finals. So I don't think they built for that moment. Honestly, they ain't got the experience.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant wants that next ring. Like if he asks for a trade, he's going for a ring.
Yeah, ask for a trade to the Suns too.
Yeah, that's that. He's hungry.
Yeah.
So then now finals matchup, we got Phoenix versus either Boston or Milwaukee.
Yeah, but it's just Phoenix for both of us.
Yeah, Phoenix is getting the ring this year. Like
yeah. This CP3 time.
Yeah, I guess so. This is CP3 getting his ring.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to be like the offensive powerhouse or whatever of the games that he'll play.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they brought in KD. He just needs to facilitate.
Exactly. Like beforehand, when they had Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, they were good, but they also kind of needed the help to get rolling. And KD is an offense by himself, so it kind of eliminated that whole need.
Yeah. So yeah, give me Phoenix.
All right. So yeah, that's what we think. Tell us what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll be sure to come back to this video and see what we got right and what we got wrong later in the
we'll update y'all.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's it from us. Peace.